Welcome to Masterpiece Tarot. Here you'll find timeless messages to guide your soul's awakening. If you're here, trust. You are meant to be. You can show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing. These help support my mission of creating more peace on Earth. All right, collective, welcome in, welcome in. I've been doing zodiac readings, and I'm going to go ahead and do the last two. I'm going to do Libra and Aquarius. So we'll start with Libra, and then I'll do a second video for Aquarius. Spirit, thank you for allowing me to be a channel for these messages that you are about to bring in for the collective. We are in Libra season, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to do a reading for Libra. And I'm deciding which deck I want to use. I think I'm going to use this guy right here. Yeah, let's use this deck. This is the Crow's deck here. All right. Spirit, what messages do you have for the Libra collective? Sun, Moon, Rising. You could be a cross watcher. Take the genders as they resonate. Please use your intuition to decide if these messages resonate. Take those that do and leave the rest. This is messages for the Libra collective. What's going on with Libra here? Spirit, tell us about Libra. Messages for the Libra collective. First card out, we have a Tower. Okay. Sudden collapse. Something's happening here. I think we had a full moon last night. So lots of big energy. Whatever's going on energetically is magnified right now. What's the crossing card here for Libra? The Hermit. Well, this tower's coming down, but there's something about perhaps you being in some type of solitude that may be slowing this process down in some way. Conscious space, we have a Four of Wands, and what's not being seen is Temperance. This is an Earth Angel. This is a solid, stable union, a home. It can also be a sense of celebration. How about the recent past, Spirit? We have an Eight of Wands. So there's some fast-moving, incoming communications, perhaps. Somebody taking fast action. And now we have a Five of Wands. Here in the future, there's some type of a conflict. It's more like a competition. You are seeing yourself as a King of Wands at this time, Libra. A King of Wands. So this is a fire sign masculine. This is somebody who is very ambitious. They're fiery. They're passionate. They are a master of the fire energy. Okay, so they take action in the world to make things happen, to create things. In the environmental energy here, we have a Ten of Wands. That's a heavy burden, which makes sense considering we have a Tower as the first card out. Libra, I do get the sense that you are the one having the Tower here. I'm just going to have to see what else is going on. We have the World. This is a hope and a fear. That also makes sense, given the crossing energy there with the tower. Okay, so there's a hope that it's going to close out, but there's also maybe a fear about a new cycle or about what it might mean for that tower to come all the way down. And then we have a 9 of Pentacles, a 10 of Cups, and Judgment. Okay, well, there is an awakening here at the end of the reading. So let's just get the clarifiers and we'll kind of see what is in the energy here. Got a Hermit on the bottom of the deck there. We have a lot of major arcanas here. Five, I guess. Yeah, we have the Tower, the Hermit, Temperance, the World, and Judgment. All of these majors are towards the end of the cycle. Spirit, help us clarify this tower, please. Help us clarify this tower. Please and thank you. We have a 9 of Wands. The Page of Wands is in the reverse. I hope this isn't a thing. Oh, I think I've just got the deck upside down. Let's see. Alright, we've got a Page of Wands and a 3 of Pentacles. I am not taking reversals, but I don't know, that was strange. Okay. The Tower. It's almost as if, you know, something was being built here with this 3 of Pentacles. The team might have comprised of a young Page of Wands. Something didn't work out well. It wasn't a good fit. There's a sense of, you know, working really hard and being somewhat successful but feeling very burdened. It might not have been a great collaboration. There might have been a problem here. I do see 10 wands. When I count those 9 plus the 1 here on this card, there are 10. And yes, the Tower is here, and it's coming down. Why is the Hermit here, Spirit? What's this Hermit about? Is this Libra? Is this part of Libra's energy, or is this somebody else? Tell us. Help us see. We have an Ace of Wands, 10 of Cups, and a King of Wands. A lot of fire energy out so far already. I think that whoever's in this Hermit energy, this might be you, Libra. We'll have to get a little bit more deeply into this reading here, but I kind of feel like you may be in Hermit because this is what you're wanting to manifest. We have a passionate new start. You may be wanting to start a new project. You may be envisioning a 10 of Cups. And I see here the King of Wands, which is how you're viewing yourself at this time. And so I kind of think you're standing in some King of Wands energy right now, Libra, quite possibly. This person who is working on manifesting something, working on creating something. Which is interesting because we were just saying there's something about creating something here with the Tower. So, you know, it could almost be that maybe you foresaw that whatever you were building here initially was, you know, getting built on a faulty foundation. There could have been a problem in the team. Sometimes a team can have, get toxic. Sometimes the financing, the budgeting is wrong and you can't adjust it in time or something. And so I think here what we're seeing is that you are now going within and perhaps coming up with a new plan to manifest a new beginning. And this one might actually involve a Ten of Cups as opposed to this Three of Pentacles. It might be a different kind of a collaboration. This maybe might be a family business, something like that. Yeah. So maybe the cleanup is delayed. Maybe you're trying to transfer funds, or I'm not sure. It's just what I'm getting. I'm not sure, but let's just keep going here. We have a Four of Wands here. This is usually like a celebration. It can be a marriage. It's the 1111 card. This is a kind of a divine union, a stable, secure home. Page of Cups, Justice, and the Four of Swords. So you have two fours. This is what you are consciously aware of at this time, Libra. The connection I'm making with this Justice card has to do with whatever this partnership, business plan, tower energy is. I think perhaps something, like I said, wasn't built on a solid foundation. You may be at this time trying to bring a little bit more balance into something. And I'm seeing two fours. So fours are about stability. It's almost as if you want things to be twice as stable as they were before. And the Page of Cups, this is a young person who's looking at a cup. This is about emotion. Can be about love. And I think we said that there was another page over here. Was it the Page of Wands? Yeah, we had a page over here. So you might have a younger, there might be like a business partner or a, somebody who's working with you, Libra, who may be a bit younger, but who's helping. They may be being very supportive of you at this time as you try to bring the situation into balance. I see also they're with you during this stressful time. They're hanging in there with you, that Page of Wands energy, as that tower comes down. This might be a child. This could just be a younger colleague. Why is Temperance here? This is the Temperance angel. And yeah, we see the crow pouring the cup, the one cup into the second cup. This is about, continuous flow of water here. There's an element that's very healing. This can also be about alchemy. So the angel's on the ground, on the earth, but is a higher dimensional being. This might be something that you are not seeing right now. You may there may be some guidance that is available to you, Libra, that you are not seeing, okay, of a divine nature. Let's see what this is about. There it is again. We have an Eight of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Hermit again. Yeah, whatever this hermiting energy is, you're really digging deeper here to try to see maybe what your assets are. This King of Swords could be showing you some truth that maybe you're not seeing. There may also be a suggestion to remove something or get rid of something or cut something off that's not serving, and perhaps you're only just now discovering it. And there's a connection with the divine energy that's embodied in the Temperance card and this starlight here. You know, the Hermit's really connecting in with their intuition. And they're receiving downloads from the higher dimensions. So, also from their environment, their own unconscious mind even. Yeah, so I kind of get a sense here that there's really some soul searching going on at this time. It might not be clear why this tower had to come down. I'm not sure what that Eight of Wands was there in this position. Maybe we'll get some more here and see, learn a little bit more about that energy, that fast-moving energy. Now we have an Eight of Pentacles, a Page of Pentacles. We sure have a lot of pages, and a Three of Wands. It's almost like there was some fast-moving energy. There was like you're trying to hit a target, but then you have this kind of slow, systematic building that has to happen. Then we have a Page of Pentacles who's, you know, examining something here, learning, not really moving forward at all, more just observing. And there's a sense here, maybe in the past, Libra, that you wanted this expansion. You might have wanted it quicker than it could come. I'm kind of thinking this might be about speed. When you're like starting a business or you're building something, sometimes you got to go fast. You got to, you know, bolt right out the gate and move fast. And it's almost like you were waiting for your ships to come in, but there's some kind of a conflict here between this fast-moving energy and this slow-moving energy that characterizes the Pentacles. And now here we have a Five of Wands. This is here in the future. Let's see what this is about. There's conflict. There's a competition. Another. We have every page. There's a page, 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 and page. Or yeah. Well, that's a lot of pages. This might be like a business school or something. We have a Five of Wands. Now here we have the Page of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Again, there's this like kinetic energy in this card right here. But then we have a page who's not in motion. Again, they're very studious. They are very analytical. They're standing there just looking. We have a Nine of Cups. This is a single person who's abundant, but they're also just sitting. And this Hanged Man is like also in a period of waiting. So there's not much movement here. It's almost like whatever this competition is, it's ongoing. It's not letting up. These energies here aren't helping it to move ahead. He's just looking at it. He's all wrapped up in himself in this Nine of Cups. And this dude's focused on trying to get some type of enlightenment, trying to see something in a new perspective. So, you know, this competition could be because others may be sensing that there's an opportunity for them to move in on this opportunity because things are not moving ahead quickly enough. I don't know. That's what I'm getting. I can see, though, Libra, that this is something you are passionate about. Okay, you might be the leader of this organization. You might be at the helm of a project or something like this. Yeah. King of Wands. This is how you're seeing yourself right now. This card came out once already. King of Wands. Please clarify, Spirit. We have a Five of Pentacles. a King of Cups and a card of, this can be greed, this can be deception, trickery. We got 2 kings. Well, you're definitely surrounded by some uneven energies. You've got somebody in a state of lack, who's feeling like they're not part of the action. They might be feeling left out, rejected. There could be some health problems with whoever this is in this energy. We have a King of Cups who's, quite accomplished. This might be somebody, this could be like an investor or somebody who is maybe interested in your project. This could be a family member. And then here we've got somebody who's doing something deceptive, maybe behind your back. You yourself could be having to use some strategy given these energies, because in both the past and the future there's a sense that there's fast movement, kinetic energy, but then energy that is holding it all back. It's like there's resistance in the energy here. And I think it's the resistance that maybe caused this tower to fall. And it's almost like you're trying to come up with a new plan, but you're working with the same ingredients here. You're doing some soul searching. Okay. Yeah. Your strategy, this might be your strategy. There might be something faulty about it. There may be a need to see something from a new perspective. And now others are feeling burdened. Or no, yeah, others are seeing you as being very burdened. This is in the environment. You've got a 10 of Wands. You need to lay those down. Let's see what else here. Yeah, you're anxious. You're worried. 9 of Swords. You want to bring this forward. This is something you love. And you think you've got a great idea. And I think that energy is in the environment, but there's something you're dealing with right now, Libra. There's something personal that you're dealing with. And I don't know what it is, but maybe we can find out. The World. Hopes and fears. Tell us, Spirit, what's the World card all about? There's some confusion here. We have an Ace of Cups. Yeah, here's another card of confusion. Illusion. Too many options, too many choices. Could have something to do with this rivalry. Yeah, I think you're hoping that this passion project is going to move ahead, that this Ace of Cups is going to grow into something wonderful, fulfilling. But at the same time, there's, in the 2 of Swords, this is a blockage of some kind. There's a defensiveness here. There's confusion. You've got a blindfold on. You may not be seeing something clearly. You may be seeing things not quite as they are. This 7 of Cups can be about illusions. It could be that you have chosen people that don't work well together. It could be that you have chosen people with not enough experience. There could be a bad egg in the batch that you haven't quite sussed out yet. And for some reason, you're not seeing it. I think there's a hope that you're going to be able to take that blindfold off and see things more clearly, and that you'll make the right choices. like I said, I kind of feel like if you're trying to just start over with the same setup, what's really changed? Has anything really changed? You know, sometimes an organization needs to be transformed. You know, if it's not built on a solid foundation, there could be something flawed in its design. You know, for example, there could be bias. It could be implicit bias. So, you know, sometimes we have biases that we aren't even aware that we have. You know, hiring people that you already know, hiring people because they're friends. You know, maybe, you know, having somebody hiring people who really isn't an expert in those fields. Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of things that can happen. Let's clarify all these cards and see if we can get more info. So we've got a 9 of Pentacles. Now here we have Temperance. We have a 10 of Wands again, but it's in the reverse. I haven't been taking reversals. Let's not. Otherwise it'll be inconsistent. And an Ace of Pentacles. So somewhere along the line we're running into this Temperance again, which we saw down here. We're seeing this 10 of Wands again. We're revisiting. There's something about this divine energy behind you. Maybe you're not seeing this back here. There might be like a spiritual component that is absent somehow. I kind of was picking that up. Where was that? Over here. A little bit. Oh, anyway. Yeah. And now we have 1 pentacle here. If we add that to the 9, we have 10. So there's potential to have abundance. In fact, you might have good funding. You might even be well funded. But there's something that's collapsing nonetheless. So it's not a financial problem. It's something else. It's something in the culture of the organization. Something about the way it's serving its market. I'm not exactly sure. Now, 10 of Cups. What's this about? We have a Knight of Pentacles. We have a 6 of Pentacles and another Tower. Okay. Now here with the 10 of Cups we see, you know, wish fulfillment, a happy family of crows. This is a offer in the material that the Knight's bringing very slowly. Here we have somebody being charitable. They're giving equally. They're trying to balance the scales. There's a sense of reciprocity here. Sixes are about harmony and peace, but then why do we have a Tower? Ah, I know what it is. There was an established order within the organization. Somebody new came in, this Knight of Pentacles, okay, and it changed the dynamic here somehow. It somehow disrupted or collapsed the harmony that had already been established. For better or worse, I'm not saying it's the Knight of Pentacles' fault, because everything happens for a reason. But I do get the sense that something got disrupted. It could be, too, that this Knight of Pentacles peeped how things were being distributed. And that could have caused the tower. So this tower might be the same tower as this tower, or the same reason. Okay, there's something, perhaps, although it looks like an equitable situation, you know, it might not have been. There might have been something unfair happening. The reason I say that is because there's a sudden collapse. The crown doesn't fit on top of the square building. The Knight of Pentacles could be somebody who didn't mesh well within the organization. And it doesn't mean that the Knight of Pentacles didn't have something valuable to bring, but it could be that the organizational culture was such that it made it difficult. We have a Judgment card here. All right, let's see here. This is the Awakening. So there's a Ten of Swords, there's a Queen of Swords, and an Eight of Swords. Wow. Yeah, I think there's something faulty in the organizational culture. I do. I think part of what it may be is that it's lacking some type of cohesive sense of ethics. I'm not saying there's not some ethical standards, but is it backed by the Most High God? You know, is this a sense that we're all in this together and we all have the same goals, or is this truly, you know, a spiritually ordained situation? And what I'm seeing with this right here, the way you're seeing yourself, Libra, I'm not trying to pick on you, but, you know, you're the King of Wands. You're an ambitious person, and you can create what you want to create. But my question is there a sense that you or the organization or the culture was creating from a place of lack? Okay, there may have been a time when you were successful. This brought a lot of happiness. But there you are now looking at some kind of deception and sneakiness. And I can't help but think that what might be absent here, I think you're receiving harsh judgment. It's a painful judgment that you're receiving here. This awakening, it's awakening to the ways in which perhaps you have betrayed yourself in your own cause. You know, swords are about words, ideas, okay? And my question is there something inherently out of alignment? And the energy sort of suggests that there is. Sorry, this is a harsh reading. I'm delivering this like I'm condemning you, Libra. I don't mean that at all. But I'm just reading energy here, you guys. So please take it with a grain of salt. But, you know, how many business startups fail? Lots. Lots and lots. More than half, probably. So I think this is probably just a message to say, you know, what might be needed is a little bit more infusion of some type of divine guidance. I'm not saying sign everybody up for church and go on Sunday together, but, you know, like some type of ethical review, some type of like an ethics board, or examining sort of the practices, okay? Because how is it that both in the past and in the future we have these two energies that are opposed? There's something out of sync. It's like, for example, you might hire one person to do a job and they do it like this, but they are disconnected from these other people who are over here doing a job that's supposed to be what, helping or somehow connected, but there's a total disconnect in the energy here. Same thing over here. Supposedly, this is your organization, but you got some people over here. Who knows what they're doing over here? They're in a frickin' competition, and these people are just sitting here looking at it, not doing a thing about it. Knowing, you know, and I don't think this doesn't feel like a good competition to me. It's a rivalry. They're, instead of teamwork and working together and building each other up, there's a sense that within the culture, whatever this is, people are tearing each other down. And you know, this could be an analogy for what's happening in the country right now with the political parties. This could be happening with the races, you know, the races. I can't even believe I just said that, but you know, people are getting like real identified with a race, this race or that race. Like it's, we're leading ourselves astray here. We're straying too far away from common sense. Like, are we treating others the way we would want to be treated? I don't know. That's a question for leaders, I guess. Yeah. I think this is a really teachable moment here for leaders of organizations where things fall apart before they can even get off the ground. What's the problem here? You probably had a good idea to start with. So what went wrong? You know what I'm saying? What went wrong? Sorry. I feel like I have marbles in my mouth. Anyway, yeah, here's another good idea. You know, you're thinking about it, you're giving it thought, but something's out of alignment. Yeah. So I think this speaks to the importance of organizational culture, establishing healthy organizational culture, making sure that the people that you hire are on board with that. You know, perhaps spending extra money up front, or to hire somebody to make sure that you have good, sound, ethical practices right out the gate so you don't run into problems down the road. Yeah, mentorship can be helpful, I think. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting energy. I don't know why it was so much about business, but it was. Well, let's see here. Any last messages here for the Libra Collective? Libra Collective. Gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Oh, we'll put it right at the end here. There's an opportunity to learn from this harsh judgment, this self-betrayal. Let's see here. Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. Let's put it right here, okay? We'll put it right there in the middle, because if you release the need to know all the answers, you accept the fact that you don't have all the answers, and you go and get help. Okay. Last one, please, Spirit. change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Without movement. Well, we sure have a lot of stuck energy here. It's most stuck back here, though. Let's do this right here. Nope, we're going here because this is in the future. All right. Okay, Libra, that's your message. Hope it was helpful. Bye for now.